What's up, Met fans? Welcome back. Talking Mets and Rob. How's everybody doing? Before I get started talking about the road to 86 wins for our New York Mets, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Alright, guys, so the road to 86 wins for the New York Mets and other teams the Mets are chasing and what teams are behind the Mets. It's looking like, and I have a pretty good feeling that 86 wins is going to get the Mets into the playoffs. But what will it take to actually get to 86 wins for the New York Mets? We are also going to look at other teams that the Mets are chasing: the Braves, the Phillies, the Reds, the Cardinals, and the Padres. All those teams we're going to look at to see how many games they have left. What is their record has to be within the last couple of games that each team has to get to 86 wins. And when I mean 86 wins, I'm talking about the division and the Wildcard second spot. So those are the ways that the Mets can make the playoffs, either to win the division or get the second spot in the Wildcard. And I do believe one of those spots are going to be 86 wins. I think if you reach the 86 win mark, you're either going to win that second wild card or win the NL East. That's exactly what the Mets need to do. But what is the schedule for the New York Mets? That is the first thing that we are going to look at. And when we look at the schedule right here, the New York Mets have 23 games left. That is 2 more with Miami, 3 with the Yankees, 3 with the Cardinals, 3 with the Phillies, 2 with Boston, 3 with Milwaukee, 3 with the Marlins, and 3 to end the season with the Atlanta Braves. Now, when it comes to teams that we have to beat in order to catch them or actually keep them behind us, the Cardinals, the Phillies, and the Braves are the teams that we have to focus on when it comes to looking at who we have to beat. Yes, we have to win a lot of games. Now, it doesn't matter who's left on our schedule. We have to win. It's obvious. We're going to get to the how many games the Mets have to win and the record within the last 23 games of their season. But we do face the Cardinals, Phillies, and Braves, who are all in the mix for a division and wild card spot. So the Mets have a long road ahead. They have every team except for the Cardinals and the Marlins are over 500 and have a chance and are good teams. That's just basically that simple. So the Mets have a long road ahead, but that is the schedule left. 23 games left to go for the New York Mets in their season. When it comes to how many games out of the division, the Mets are 4 games out in the division to the Atlanta Braves. Not impossible, but not easy as well. When it comes to the wild card, the Mets are 3.5 games out, but they do have to jump over Philadelphia, San Diego, and Cincinnati, which is not going to be easy. But it is possible because, once again, we face the Cardinals, we face the Phillies, so that should help us within the wild card situation. But if you look at the wild card standings, where we're going to focus on a little bit, the New York Mets in the last 10 games have the best record within the last 10 games, record-wise, within all the rest of the wildcard teams we're chasing. Except for the Phillies, who are the closest, with 7-3. The Cincinnati Reds are 3-7. The San Diego Padres are 5-5, and the St. Louis Cardinals are 4-6. So the Mets, if the Mets can somehow keep this pace within the next 10 games, go 7-3, 8-2, there's a pretty good chance the Mets can be within 1 game of the wild card, possibly leading the second wild card. Now there is a lot involved with the Padres, the Reds, and the Phillies, understandable. But the Mets can keep the pace. They've been playing well. If they can continue to play that well within the next 10 games, 7-3, 8-2, the New York Mets can find themselves very, very close with about 13 games to go within 1 game or 2 games in the wild card, and possibly closer within 2 games. Remember, we're only a half a game difference from division and wild card. So another nice 10-game stretch can lead us to 1 or 2 games from the wild card and the division. The division obviously is probably the most easiest because we only have to jump over 1 team, which is the Phillies. But again, the Braves are 4-6 in their last 10, while the Mets are 8-2. So there's a lot of moving parts, but what we want to focus on here is the road to 86, and that's not just including our New York Mets, it's included all the other teams involved in the division and the wild card. So when it comes to the road to 86 wins for the New York Mets, right now their record is 70-69, one game over 500. They do have 23 games left to go to get to the 86 win mark, which I think is going to get a team into the playoffs. Either they're in the Mets in the division or the wild card. 86 wins. What will it take within 23 games? That is a record of 16-7 the remainder of the season. It's a lot of games, right? But if you really think about it, it's 9 games over 500. That's what the Mets have to do in order to get to 86 wins, which I believe will get a team into the playoffs. So the Mets record has to be 86-76, basically. 86-76. 10 games over 500. The Mets record over the next 23 games left is 16-7. That's what they need to get to 86 wins. When it comes to the Atlanta Braves to get to 86 wins, right now their record is 73-64. They got 25 games left in their season. The Braves only have to play one game over 500 within those 25 games and go 13-12. So obviously they have an easier path to win their division and probably keep pace in the wild card as well. So the Braves don't have to do very much. They only have to be, one game over 500. That's an easier task when you look at the big picture. When it comes to the Phillies now, their record is 71-67. They got 24 games left. Their record to get to the road to 86 wins is 15-9. So they have to be 6 games over 500 the remaining schedule, but they have been playing well just as much as the Mets have been playing well. They've been 7-3 in their last 10. The Mets are 8-2 in their last 10. So it is physically possible. The Phillies don't have a very, very hard schedule like the Mets. The Mets do have a tough schedule. But the road to 86 wins for the Philadelphia Phillies is 15-9 in the remaining schedule to get to 86 wins. When we look at the Cincinnati Reds, who are atop of the second wild card, which the teams are chasing, the record for the Cincinnati Reds right now is 74-66. They have 22 games left. They have the least amount of games left with all the teams that we're going to talk about today. 22 games left. They have to go 22-10 in their last 22 games. Only 2 games over 500, but the Reds have not been playing well as in the last 10 games as well. So the Cincinnati Reds do have to go 12-10 just to get to the 86 mark, which I do believe is going to get a team into the playoffs, no matter if it's with their division or the wild card spot, the second spot. So the Reds need to be 12-10 to get to 86 wins. Next on the board is the St. Louis Cardinals, who are a half a game behind, or are actually tied in amount of games to get to the second wild card spot, but they have one less loss than the Mets, but the Mets have one more victory. So the St. Louis Cardinals record right now is 69-68. They have 25 games left in their season, and they have to go 17-8. So the Cardinals have a bigger road than any other team that are chasing a wild card, spot out of all these teams. They have to go 17-8. It's not going to be easy for them either, and they have to jump over multiple teams as well. So to get to 86 wins for the St. Louis Cardinals is 17-8, but they have 25 games left to go. And last but not least, the San Diego Padres. They are right behind the Cincinnati Reds in the second wild card spot. They got 24 games left to go, and their record has to be only 2 games over 500, 13-11. With a record of 73-65, they can easily get 2 games over 500, but they're another team that haven't been playing well. Once again, the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies have the best record in the last 10 games. So these teams have to be better to actually get that second wild card spot. So when it comes to the The New York Mets, with the amount of games they have left, the New York Mets have to go 16-7 in their last 23 games just to get to 86 wins. What I think is the threshold to make a playoff spot. The Mets have the opportunity to catch their division and the wild card. So the Mets have two opportunities to make the playoffs. With the other teams in the West and the Central, nobody is catching the first wild card or the division in the West, and the same thing with the Central. So the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds only have one opportunity to make the playoffs, and that's the wild card. The same thing goes for the San Diego Padres. They have to go and win the wild card. They can't win their division. The New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies have two opportunities and are within 1.5 and 3.5 games to make the wild card and the division within 4 games when it includes the Mets. So within 4 games, the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets have a chance to make the playoffs, and they have 2 opportunities which they are in reach of to make the playoffs, and that is the wild card and the division. So the Mets record right now is 70-69 with 23 games left to go, and to get to that 86 win mark, they have to go 16-7. Can the New York Mets actually do it? I think they're gonna fall just short, but mathematically they're still alive. 3.5 in the wild card, 4 games within the division. The New York Mets 16-7 the rest of the way. Do you think the Mets can do it, guys? Once again, guys, thank you guys for watching, Met fans. Don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Let me know what you think. If the Mets can get to 86 wins, do you think 86 wins is the threshold to make the playoffs in the wild card and the division? Let me know, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching, and as always, Met fans, let's go Mets.